Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at which gods did the Philistines worship. Moving right along, mythology tells us one thing, while archaeology tells us another. From where did the Philistines originate? Were the Philistines polytheists? Who was their primary deity? Let's begin with from where did the Philistines hail? The origin and arrival of the Philistines to the Near East seems to have occurred during the end of the 13th century before the Common Era. They were among the waves of those known by the Egyptians as the Sea Peoples. Many of these transient peoples have their roots in Anatolia and throughout the Aegean Sea. Let's start with a look at the Philistine pantheon. Very little is actually known about the religion of the Philistines and its practices. What can be verified is the pantheon of local Canaanite deities that the Philistines absorbed into their religion. Most likely these include Baal, Astarte, Asherah, and Dagon. They may have also revered Kudshu and Anat. Since very little is known on the religious practices of the Philistines, we must rely primarily on foreign sources. According to the Bible, the main god of the Philistines was Dagon. There were temples dedicated to this deity throughout Gaza. These include temples in the towns of Shephelah in the lowlands of Judah near Lachish. This can be found in Joshua 15:11. While another temple, according to Joshua 19:27, existed in the tribal area of Asher. It is interesting to point out that the god Dagon was also worshipped in Syria. Prior to the Philistines' arrival from the Aegean, Dagon was already a prominent deity in the Levant for some 2,000 years, even though the worship of Dagon appears central to the religion of the Philistines. According to 1 Samuel 5:1-7, the Philistines brought the Ark of the Covenant into the temple of Dagon in Ashdod. This was intended to signal submission to the Philistine god. However, in a typical political twist to show the superiority of Israel's national god, the move backfired. Apparently, the statue of Dagon fell down and prostrated itself before the ark and broke into pieces. This is found in Judges 16:23. At the temple of Dagon in Gaza, a great thanksgiving sacrifice was held for the capture of Samson. Likewise, according to 1 Chronicles 10:10, the head of Saul was displayed by the Philistines in the temple of Dagon at Beth-shan. During the Second Temple period, the high priest Jonathan burned down the temple of Dagon in Ashdod. This was done because the temple was providing shelter to the cavalry of Apollonius, the Seleucid governor of Coile, Syria. The other two deities linked to the Philistines in the Hebrew Bible are Beelzebub and Ashtoreth. This can be found in 2 Kings 2-16. It is interesting to note that colloquially the name Beelzebub is translated as Lord of the Flies. This deity is associated with the Canaanite god Baal. However, to the Israelites, Beelzebub was a major demon. In Christian theological sources, Beelzebub is another name for Satan. The Semitic goddess Astarte appears in the Hebrew Bible as Ashtoreth. In fact, Ashtoreth may have actually been of Phoenician origin. She is regarded as an equivalent to the East Semitic goddess Ishtar. Astarte was worshipped as the goddess of war, beauty, hunting, and love. Throughout the Levant, she was worshipped by the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, and the Amorites. In 1966, new light on Philistine religion and history has been shed by an inscription on a stela of the late Iron Age temple in Tel Mikne. The temple was most likely built after Sennacherib's campaign in Palestine at the end of the 8th century before the Common Era. This Phoenician inscription appears to be a mention of a mysterious deity for whom the temple was built. Although written in Phoenician, the Tel Mikne inscription seems to be historically and culturally Philistine. Point in fact, the first Philistine inscription ever recovered. Besides the aforementioned sanctuaries alluded in several Bible passages, there is direct archaeological evidence concerning the Philistines and their religious life. In conclusion, it is evident to see that the Philistines took over worship of certain Canaanite deities. Frankly, the same holds true with the Israelites. This brings us to the end of which gods did the Philistines worship. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Traveler's Tales. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Traveler's Tales. This really is the best way to help our channel grow. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. Until we meet again at the crossroads of folklore and fact, Kartistos.